Well, I mean, part of it, I think, is the larger failure in the general education system. Not the general education as in gen ed, but as in, by the time they get to our classrooms, they're saturated. It's like they've been at a buffet for like the last several years, and they're just full. And they're tired, and they don't want to learn anything, and they don't see why they should have to. And a lot of them are there because English, I think, is one of the most unevenly taught disciplines there is on the face of the planet. When they come to my class, they're usually pretty cynical about what English means, and they usually are asking questions that I find horrifying, like this is a typical one. What does a good essay look like for you? Which means, basically, it sort of implies that there is no such thing as a good essay for anybody. It's all sort of relative. And so you have to kind of work with that idea, and you have to undo a lot of the teaching that has been done. A lot of damage too, actually, fairly emotional damage. And there's some systemic problems in English, and I find those quite engaging too. Like, I mean, one of the basic ones, if you were to go take a golf lesson, and like if I was to go take a golf lesson and someone was to tell me everything that was wrong with my golf game when I took a swing, I would just throw the golf clubs out. I would just quit. So they lie to you. They give you this pleasant little lie, like there's only 3 things really wrong here. Adjust your grip a bit, change your stance, address the ball slightly differently. And they're kind of, in a sense, lying. They're not. But in English, when I mark an essay, the traditional way to mark it is to tell everybody everything that's wrong with their essay, every single problem, which systemically, I think, discourages people. And it gives them the impression that they suck at English, which has played to my benefit because most people feel like they are inadequate in that subject. And then they come to me thinking that I'm some wizard that knows these things. And really all that's happened is they've had their confidence beaten right out of them. And so you have to find, like, in order to grow as a writer, you can't grow from any place but from learning that you, in fact, have something to build on inside of you. So you have to try and reconstruct a place where you can build confidence from again. And that's it's an interesting and thorny problem. And English is one. It's a giant puzzle, and there are new ways to fail at it every year. And I've failed multiple times in multiple ways, but I've felt like I've succeeded sometimes with some students.